What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie, and today it's time for another weekly wrap-up. Well, not really a weekly wrap-up. It's sort of a weekly / monthly wrap-up, because if you notice, I never did a March one. I forgot about it, if I'm completely honest. I 100% forgot, and it's like coming towards the end of April, so, just kind of happened. But that said, not a whole lot happened in March as far as like the normal content I put into these with, a pen and books and stuff like that. I didn't actually read all that much in the month of March, mostly because I was doing a work from home experience with a different job. Dad had surgery, busted pipes at the cottage, just lots going down. So not a whole lot happened in March, not really. So what I figured I would do is sort of just give like an update on what I've read, what's gone down the channel, all that kind of good stuff for April, tail end of March, mostly April. So I read 2 complete books, and that was the 3rd installment of Wheel of Time from Robert Jordan, The Dragon Reborn, and The Last Wish. I'm going to butcher this name. Andrzej Sapkowski. So this is sort of like 0.5 before The Witcher begins. Actually, I'm reading, if I can move a bunch of stuff, it's going to shake the camera. I'm also reading Swords of Destiny currently. I'm not done yet. I've just begun it. So this book and this book are sort of like a collection of short stories before the Witcher series actually starts. And basically these 2 books, from what I can tell thus far, is what season 1 and 2 of The Witcher have been on Netflix. Now granted, like I said, I'm only, 93 pages into this, so I still have the bulk of it to go. So there could be more content in that book yet that wasn't in the show, and I just haven't gotten there. If you can let me know if there's content that's different, but don't tell me what it is. No spoilers. I've seen season 1 and season 2 twice now, but I haven't read any of the books. So, like I said, Last Wish is done, Swords of Destiny started, and Dragon Reborn. This book took me a while to get through it, and I think because a lot of it centered around Perrin, and Perrin is my least favorite character, at least as of right now. Despite the fact of I don't want to spoil it, but what this, The Dragon Reborn, leads you to believe, the person who is the dragon is pretty much not in this book at all. So I was sort of 50-50 on this book. A lot of it was Perrin heavy. He is not my favorite, but a lot of it is also Matt heavy, which I very much enjoyed. I thoroughly enjoyed the content that focused on Matt. He is my favorite character. I was not a fan of the, I don't want to say portrayal, but like the vibe that I got from Moraine from this book. She just seemed kind of like an itch with a bee in this book, and I love her in the other books, so I'm hoping that doesn't continue in book 4. But, there's also another character that is in this with Matt that if you know, you know. I won't spoil because, but I also love that character. And I did find the arc with Nynaeve, Egwene, and Elaine to be interesting. Not as good as what happened in book 1 and 2, but still pretty good. So I would give this a 7 out of 10, this book here. The Witcher book, I flew through this. It was very easy to read, mostly because, like I said, I knew the content for the most part. The show and the book actually stuck pretty similar. The only thing is that in the show, Jaskier's character is named Dandelion in the book, and I hate that. So I'm totally okay with the fact that they changed his name in the show, because I really, really hate the name Dandelion. So, like, whenever I read the name Dandelion, I just put Jaskier in it instead. And I'm glad that I actually watched the show. This is one of the very, very, very few times I'm glad I watched the show before I read the book, because I feel like I'd be a little bit confused, just like I was actually when I watched the show for the first time, because it jumps all over the place and it doesn't tell you it's jumping all over the place. It just, you figure it out eventually. And this sort of does too. But I get why this show does if this does. Regardless, I really liked it. It's like an 8.5 out of 10 for me. Like I said, I flew through it thus far. Sword of Destiny is giving me the exact vibes of Last Wish. So there's that. And then the pen that I used primarily, and I'll throw in a quick clip at the end of the writing, was the Kaweco Sport Iridescent Pearl. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I've done an unboxing, first impression, that kind of thing, an actual video on it. So if you want to see like my detailed, it's not really even super detailed. It's mostly just me absolutely gushing over this pen because I think it's beautiful. But I've done a full video on it if you want to take a look. And then I filled it. Well, I mean, I've since filled it like 5 times, about that, 5 or 6 times with Diamine Oxford Blue, I believe is what it's called. Let me, oh geez. Let me just go grab it. Yes, I got the little 30 ml bottle of Oxford Blue. I like it. It's a pretty solid dark blue ink. It does have a little bit of red sheen. This is the only pen I've ever used this ink in. This is the only pen I've used the ink in, so I can't speak highly about the ink as far as its super, like its characteristics, because this is the only experience I have. But it does sheen a little bit. I did make this a wet writer, so it can definitely handle some good stuff. If you hear some background noise, I am uploading a Patreon only video for now, so sometimes the fan might kick on my computer. But I've really been enjoying this combo. I think I'm close to cleaning it out time, not because I don't want to use it anymore, but just because I don't want too many pens inked up at the moment. And there's a couple that I want to ink up next. Very much like Drew Brown from Goulet Pens, he has a 3-pen ink rule. I don't follow it as strictly as he does. He's very strict on the 3-pen inked up at the time. I like to follow that 3. I'm pretty good about sticking to the 3, but sometimes I get like 7, 8, or 9 if I get a whole bunch of pens in at the same time. But I don't like when that happens because, much like him, I don't want to clean them all. So I'm going to clean this one and probably one other out so that I can ink up some more. What else? What else has happened? I'm about to go back into my regular job in 2 days' time. Not super thrilled about that. Mostly because everything that I've heard. I just cracked my knuckle, which I do all the time, but that one was extraordinary. Mostly because everything I've heard while I've been doing my work from home thing is that it's a nightmare over there. And so I'm not super anxious about returning to that. But by the time you see this video, I will already have, and I have no choice. So, well, I do. I always have a choice. I don't want to live with the consequences of making the choice not to go. So, there's that. Another thing I have done is look into mortgages, which was fun because my condo will be ready this year, barring unforeseen circumstances. So that's been complicated. Thank you, pandemic. for that and everything you've done there. But I think I've figured it out. Maybe, possibly, who knows? I don't know. And then the last thing really is that I am starting to do some research on joining a gym. I'm thinking about, well, A, doing that. And then B, getting a personal trainer for maybe a couple months, like 2 or 3 months or so. That's really threefold. One, I don't know how to use any of the equipment. I've never joined a gym in my entire life. Any like workouts or things like that I've done, I've always been like, you're just following a video. So I don't know how to use the equipment, and I would like somebody to show me how to use said equipment. 2, I've never worked out a day in my life, so I don't know how to start programming. I don't know where to begin. I just don't know anything. That's the fact. I don't know anything. They do. That's what they're there for. And then 3rd is to hold myself accountable to actually going and setting up a routine. So I think 2 or 3 months will probably be enough. They're expensive, to where I will feel confident doing it on my own. And then I guess a 4th thing is that I want to be very confident in the gym, what I'm doing, that I'm not going to get hurt, and how to set up my own routine so that when my condo is ready, I will feel confident using the machines there. Because I know if I move into my condo, never having used any of that equipment before, there won't be anyone to show me how, and I'll just use that as an excuse not to go. So there's that. So yeah, that's basically been the tail end of March and April thus far. So I hope you guys are doing all right. You know, all the things. As always, I'm not going anywhere. I'm taking a little bit of time here and there. You know, not posting quite as much sometimes, just because life happens, and I'm trying to be more chill, guys. I'm trying to temper down the anxiety and just be more chill. So if you want to join me on the Patreon crew and support what I do, please check that out. Patreon is like chef's kiss. I love the community that we're building over there. It's just dynamite. Other than that, subscribe, hit the like, and I'll see you next time. Peace. All right, my beautiful patrons, thank you all for your support. If you have recently supported me as a VIP patron or above and don't see your name, don't fear. This was recorded February 26th, so it will be there as soon as I can get it updated. So we have our ultimate human is Daniel Roddy, and for my VIP fans, we've got Elizabeth, Glenn Kelly, Joan Worthman, Brian Hunter, Aaron C., Luna Wolf Games, Bobby A. Bailey, Stuart Riley, Ute Cruiser, Victor Portugal, Bass, Weilei Chang, Brian La, Lucas Bell, Aubrey Madcore, Marissa Calvo, Eric Lineman, Jessica Chow, Stephen Baldwin, Carol Lowry, Michael Simon, Sean Sturdy, Susan Barrier, Catherine Molina, Robert Myers, Bianca Andrews, Bill Pemberton, Jennifer Galfie, Karen Epstein, Lucy Peralta, Gretchen Peters, and digitaltent.tech. For those who are not VIP tier or above, it does not matter. I still appreciate that you're here and that you make all of the difference. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.